Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to unpack the most essential insights from, well, a whole stack of sources, really turning that raw information into real understanding for you.
Hmm.
And today we're setting our sights on a truly extraordinary destination, New Zealand.
Oh, fantastic choice.
We've got this comprehensive list of its top attractions, both natural and urban, but our mission today is definitely to go beyond just, the surface level. We're not
Mhm.
just listing places off. We want to dive deep into the context, the unique stories, maybe some surprising facts that make New Zealand so incredibly captivating.
Yeah, get into the why.
Exactly. So grab your imaginary passport because we're about to try and uncover what really makes New Zealand unforgettable. Okay, let's unpack this.
And that's precisely our goal for you today.
Yeah.
We want to pull out those truly valuable insights, those memorable details that hopefully give you some genuine aha
Mm,
moments about New Zealand's incredibly diverse landscapes and all the experiences it offers.
right.
Think of it as, I guess, a shortcut to feeling like you've already had a really fascinating chat about this place, even before you've thought about booking a flight.
Okay, so let's set the scene a bit. New Zealand is, I think it's fair to say, the ultimate destination for nature lovers. Fundamentally, it's made up of two distinct main islands,
The North and the South.
the North Island and the South Island, yep.
And what's truly fascinating here, I think, is how these two islands, though they're obviously close, offer such fundamentally different primary experiences. It really sets the stage for all sorts of adventures.
How so?
Well, the North Island, it might be smaller geographically, but that's where most people live. It's got the big city buzz of Auckland and then the capital Wellington, which has its own sort of quirky charm.
Okay.
But contrast that with the South Island. It's larger, much less populated, and that's where you find the really dramatic, kind of epic nature scenes.
Yeah.
Christchurch is its biggest city, but it's the landscapes that dominate.
So it really divides the country into, like, two distinct travel personalities.
You could definitely say that.
Yeah. And our sources, they consistently point to one really popular way to explore all this, an epic road trip.
The classic Kiwi roadie.
Right. You typically kick things off in Auckland, sort of meander down through the North Island,
Hmm.
and then make that iconic ferry crossing from Wellington across the Cook Strait, landing in Picton on the South Island.
A crucial link.
But this isn't, a quick weekend thing. Our sources are pretty clear this journey can easily stretch over several weeks, maybe even months if you really want to soak it all in.
Absolutely. And building on that road trip idea, it's really essential to understand New Zealand's Great Walks.
Ah, yes, I saw those mentioned. What exactly are they?
Well, they aren't just any hiking trails. It's actually a formal list. The country's most popular, most beautiful, and really meticulously maintained multi-day tracks.
Okay, so they're curated experiences.
Kind of. Think of them almost like a pilgrimage for serious hikers,
Hmm.
and you often need to book them way in advance, which tells you just how popular they are. They're iconic wilderness immersions.
Got
And our deep dive today, it covers both these famous great walks and, other more relaxed activities too, so you get the full picture.
All right, perfect. Now that we have the lay of the land, let's really dive into those specific attractions, starting up on the North Island. Here's where it gets really interesting. First stop, the Waitomo Glowworm Caves.
Ah, Waitomo.
Yes, described in our sources as just remarkable subterranean worlds. And they're famous for a very specific glowworm species, Arachnocumpa luminosa. Apparently, you only find it in New Zealand's North Island.
That's right, exclusively there. And the phenomenon itself,
Yeah.
well, it's just otherworldly. These tiny glowworms, they spin these delicate silk nests hanging from the cave ceiling.
Okay.
And it's their larvae that produce this beautiful, soft, bioluminescent light. They do it to attract prey, little insects, into their sticky threads.
Oh.
So when you're floating silently on a boat through these pitch-black caves and you look up, the ceiling is just completely blanketed with these tiny living lights. It looks remarkably like the night sky.
That sounds incredible, like a natural light show.
It really is. It's a singular, breathtaking spectacle, draws people from all over the globe, and honestly, it's easy to see why. It's quite magical.
Okay, so from that unique underground world, we then sort of rise up to the really grand scale of Tongariro National Park.
Yeah, big shift in scale.
Huge shift. This park, it holds the distinction of being the oldest national park in New Zealand, and it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, too.
Hmm. Both natural and cultural heritage.
And it's built on, well, restless earth. It's home to 3 active volcanoes,
Hmm.
Garoho, Tongariro, and Ruapehu. And Ruapehu is apparently one of the world's most active.
It certainly is. It's a very dynamic landscape, a vivid reminder of the immense raw power that's still shaping this land.
Definitely.
And within this park, you've got the Tongariro Northern Circuit. Now, that is one of New Zealand's acclaimed great walks.
Okay, one of the big ones.
Yep. It's a challenging 50-kilometer loop that's about 31 miles, and it typically takes around 3 to 4 days to hike the whole thing. But interestingly, within that longer circuit is the Tongariro Alpine Crossing. This is a standalone track, hugely popular, just a day hike. It's about 7 hours, just under 20 kilometers or 12 miles.
Ah, so a shorter option.
Exactly. And most visitors actually opt for this shorter alpine crossing.
So that raises an interesting point then. How does a traveler balance, the allure of doing a multi-day great walk versus the popularity and maybe the time commitment of a shorter but still iconic day hike like the crossing?
Yeah, it's a common dilemma, actually. Our sources suggest that while the full Great Walk offers that deep multi-day immersion,
Right, you're really in it.
you're really in it. But the Alpine Crossing, that's kind of the hero shot experience.
Yeah.
It's more accessible to a wider range of fitness levels. It delivers those quintessential volcanic vistas. The Emerald Lakes, Mount Ngauruhoe, the
Classic views.
classic views, exactly. And you can do it even if your schedule's a bit tighter. So it's like the perfect taste of this epic landscape if you're short on time but still want that signature, unforgettable experience.
Makes sense. Okay, so our journey on the North Island eventually brings us down to Wellington, New Zealand's capital city.
Windy Welly.
That's what they call it. Located right at the southwestern tip of the North Island. And it's definitely earned that nickname, Windy Wellington, because of the strong gusts that funnel through the Cook Strait.
Oh, yeah, it can really blow there.
But it's also a crucial strategic point, isn't it? It serves as the main crossing point over to the South Island.
Absolutely. Wellington really has this dual role. It's the bustling political center, but it's also a major transport hub.
And what should you check out if you're there?
Well, definitely don't miss the Te Papa Museum. That's New Zealand's national museum. And our sources actually praise it as one of the world's best science museums. It's fantastic.
High praise indeed.
It is. Then there's also the Wellington Zoo, the lovely Wellington Botanical Gardens up on the hill, and of course you have to see the New Zealand Parliament Building. It's incredibly distinctive, famously known as the Beehive.
The Beehive, right? I've seen pictures. Very unique architecture.
Very much so. It sums up Wellington quite well. A bit quirky, very functional, and quite important.
Okay, so now, imagine crossing that Cook Strait, leaving Wellington's blustery charm behind,
Heading south.
and landing in, well, it feels like a different realm as we shift our focus to the South Island, which is renowned for its truly dramatic nature scenes.
Yeah, this is where the scale just gets enormous.
Our first stop here, according to the list, is Abel Tasman National Park. It's nestled right at the very northern tip of the South Island.
Beautiful spot. Golden beaches, turquoise water.
And the most celebrated track within the park is the Abel Tasman Coast Track. It's 51 kilometers or 32 miles, another one of those great walks.
That's right.
And you can tackle the whole multi-day trek, or like Tongariro, you can opt for more manageable one-day sections too.
Exactly. It's very flexible. But if we think about the deeper experience there, it's really about connecting with this stunning environment through different adventurous lenses.
How do you mean?
Well, lots of visitors choose to combine hiking parts of the track with sea kayaking. Yeah, it allows you to really experience the scenery from both land and sea. From a kayak, you could discover hidden caves, tucked away coves, those pristine white sand beaches.
This sounds amazing.
And you often get chances to encounter marine mammals too, seals, maybe dolphins. It's a fantastic way to see that coastline.
Right, experiencing it from different perspectives. Then there's Milford Sound.
The jewel in the crown, some would say?
It's described as a majestic fjord. That's F-I-O-R-D, and I hear they pronounce it fjord locally.
That's generally how you'll hear it, yeah.
Okay. And it's often cited as one of the world's absolute best travel destinations. Undeniably, New Zealand's most famous tourist spot, I'd wager.
Probably, yeah. It gets a lot of attention.
And it's actually, 15 kilometers inland from the Tasman Sea? Carved by glaciers, surrounded by these incredibly tall cliffs, some over 1,200 meters, that's nearly 4,000 feet.
Towering, sheer rock faces straight out of the water.
And graced with beautiful waterfalls like Stirling Falls and Bowen Falls and hidden caves.
Yeah, this destination, it truly lives up to its immense reputation. It draws so many visitors just for its sheer grandeur and scale. You feel tiny there in the best possible way.
So how do you experience it?
Well, you have two main ways. You can see it from the sea, taking a cruise that goes deep into the fjord, right out toward the Tasman. That's probably the most popular option.
Right.
Or you could experience it from the land by walking the iconic Milford Track.
Ah, another famous track.
Oh, yeah. It's a substantial 53.5 kilometers, about 33 miles long.
Huh.
And many, many people consider it the finest walk in the world. High praise, but it's often justified.
Wow. Okay, moving south from there, we hit the glaciers. Fox Glacier and Franz Josef Glacier.
West Coast glaciers, yeah.
Pretty remarkable.
Franz Josef stretches 12 kilometers, 7.5 miles.
Mm-hmm.
Fox Glacier is slightly longer, 13 kilometers, 8.1 miles. And they're both situated on the west coast of the South Island.
And what's truly astonishing here, geologically speaking, is the almost unbelievable juxtaposition. You've got these immense rivers of ice.
Right, huge glaciers flowing down against this lush, green, temperate rainforest.
Wait, glaciers reaching rainforests?
Exactly. These glaciers are exceptionally rare globally because they descend from the high peaks of the Southern Alps right down to less than 300 meters, or about 980 feet above sea level. They literally terminate in vibrant green rainforest.
That's incredible. I can't picture that.
It's quite a sight. It's not just picturesque, it's a real geological marvel. It really shows how uniquely New Zealand's climate allows these massive glaciers to exist at such low, accessible altitudes.
So you can actually walk on them.
You can. Guided glacier walks are a huge draw.
Hmm.
It makes visiting them, doing a glacier walk, one of New Zealand's absolute best, most unique experiences, almost unparalleled anywhere else in the world at that latitude and accessibility.
Amazing. Okay, now for marine life enthusiasts, the sources point us towards Kaikoura,
Ah, Kaikoura, yes, definitely.
highlighted as one of the world's premier whale-watching locations. Apparently, many tourists make the journey to this specific town with that sole purpose in mind.
And it's easy to understand why when you get there.
Ah.
The underwater geography is unique. Deep oceanic trenches come very close to shore,
Ah,
and these currents converge, creating this incredibly nutrient-rich feeding ground. It just attracts an astounding array of marine life.
like what specifically?
Yeah, well, the big stars are the whales. You can expect to see colossal sperm whales year-round. Then, depending on the season, migrating humpback whales.
Huh?
Even killer whales, orcas, pass through.
Oh,
And alongside the whales, there are often huge pods of dolphins. Dufky dolphins are famous for their acrobatics and lots of New Zealand fur seals lounging on the rocks. It's a truly vibrant marine ecosystem right there.
sounds like a must-do for wildlife lovers.
Yeah.
Now, for the scenic drivers out there, we need to talk about Queen Charlotte Drive.
A classic South Island drive.
It's acclaimed as New Zealand's most beautiful drive and even one of the world's most stunning. Apparently, it's all about the breathtaking blue and green landscape.
It really reminds us that in New Zealand, sometimes the journey itself is a major highlight, not just, the place you end up.
Where does it run?
It winds its way between Picton, where the ferry arrives, and the town of Nelson. It follows the coast of the Marlborough Sounds, lots of twists, turns, and incredible viewpoints over the water.
Sounds lovely.
And our sources also suggest, quite rightly, that once you reach Nelson, you should absolutely take some time to explore the nearby Nelson Lakes National Park as well. More stunning scenery there.
Good tip. Okay, our journey continues down to Queenstown.
The adventure capital.
That's what I hear.
Hmm.
Described as a beautiful resort town nestled in the southwest of the South Island, it's built right around Queenstown Bay on the shores of Lake Wakatipu, which is this incredible Z-shaped glacial meltwater lake.
Mm-hmm. Stunning setting.
And it offers just incredible panoramic views, mountains plunging down to the lake, just gorgeous.
It really is. And it's buzzing with energy, too.
Bleh.
Bungee jumping, jet boating, skiing in winter. It's got it all.
But if you want just the view, maybe something a bit calmer.
Right. Well, one of the best attractions right there in Queenstown for a quick but really impactful experience is the Queenstown Hill Time Walk.
Okay.
It's a relatively short hike,
Mm.
maybe an hour or two up, but it leads you to what is arguably the absolute best spot for a wonderful panoramic view of the entire area, the lake, the town, the Remarkables mountain range. It gives you that perfect postcard perspective.
Nice. A good payoff for not too much effort.
Exactly. Highly recommended.
And finally, on our main list, we arrive at the big one, Mount Cook, or Aoraki, its Maori name.
Aoraki Mount Cook, the cloud piercer.
The highest mountain in all of New Zealand, piercing the sky at 3,724 meters. That's 12,218 feet.
A truly formidable peak.
And it's a dramatic landscape all around it. Apparently, the mountain itself consists of 3 prominent summits, and it's flanked by 2 significant glaciers, the Tasman Glacier and the Hooker Glacier.
Yeah, the whole area is just immense.
And it's a magnet for adventures, especially serious mountain climbers, I gather.
Oh, absolutely. It's a serious mountaineering challenge. But even if you're not climbing it, just being in its presence is powerful. When we think about the sheer scale of New Zealand's natural grandeur, this is really its culmination.
The highest point.
Its highest peak, standing majestically amidst this vast, rugged wilderness. The Mount Cook village, which is quite small, serves as the main base for all the activities in the area, hiking tracks like the Hooker Valley Track, scenic flights, glacier viewing.
Right.
And the whole area is part of the Aoraki Mount Cook National Park, which again is a recognized UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's just a testament to the raw, untamed beauty of the South Island.
Okay, so that covers the main highlights from our source list, but it also mentioned a few other gems we should probably touch on, things to consider if you have more time. It just reinforces how much there is to see.
Yeah, the list is long.
For city explorers, it suggested definitely don't miss Auckland with its vibrant harbor life, maybe sailing, or Christchurch, the Garden City, which has a unique sort of artistic feel now as it continues to rebuild after the earthquakes.
Right, Christchurch has a really interesting resilience and creativity about it now.
And then back to nature and unique spots, our sources also pointed to Taupo and the huge, beautiful Lake Taupo on the North Island that's actually a massive volcanic caldera.
Huge lake, great fishing too.
Also, the incredible 60-kilometer, 37-mile Kepler Track, another one of those great walks down south near Teanau.
A tough but rewarding one.
And for a truly quirky experience, apparently Dunedin, down on the southeast coast of the South Island,
Scottish heritage down there.
is home to the world's steepest residential street, Baldwin Street.
Oh yeah, Bolden Street. It's incredibly steep, a real challenge just to walk up it, let alone live on it. Quite the novelty.
Definitely sounds like it.
So this deep dive, it really has showcased the incredible diversity of New Zealand's attractions, hasn't it?
Absolutely.
We've journeyed from, those bioluminescent caves and active volcanoes on the North Island all the way to ancient glaciers that literally descend into lush, temperate rainforests on the South Island. We've talked about unique wildlife, those breathtaking scenic drives, charming and dynamic cities. It feels like it's been a whole series of aha moments, just revealing the vast range of experiences that are possible in this, well, relatively compact yet endlessly varied country.
It really does pack a punch. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into New Zealand. So what does all this mean for you listening?
Yeah, what's the takeaway?
Given this incredible array of unique natural wonders we've explored, from the almost fantastical glowworm caves to those glaciers meeting rainforests, here's something to think about. How? How has this relatively remote island nation become such a crucible, such a concentration point for this extraordinary range of distinct natural phenomena?
That's a great question.
What geological factors, what biological factors might have converged over millennia to create such a unique, almost unbelievable natural tapestry all in one relatively small place?
Lots to ponder there. Isolation, tectonic activity, climate gradients.
Exactly. Something to mull over. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.